There's something divine about a Taurus soul. It's not loud. It doesn't seek applause. But it holds a quiet command over the world, like the earth beneath our feet. Like the seasons that never ask for attention yet shape our lives. And in 2026, something awakens. A blueprint, a destiny, a series of gifts that have been silent until now. These are not just qualities. They are sacred tools, 20 divine talents that God gave only to Taurus. Not borrowed from other signs, not learned, but encoded in the soul the moment Taurus first drew breath. Some of these talents you already feel, like the way your spirit refuses to rush, or how your presence calms a room without a word. Others have been dormant, waiting for 2026, a year, when energy aligns with the original intention of the Taurus soul. And that's why you're here. You didn't click this video by accident. You were drawn to it, because whether you are a Taurus loved one, or simply feel the pull of the bull's unwavering energy, these 20 talents are about to remind you who you really are and why this year is different. I've spent decades studying Taurus energy, not through textbooks, but through lived experience, ancient prophecy, and spiritual patterns that repeat through history. And what I've discovered will change the way you see this sign forever. So before we begin, I want you to do something. Drop your birthday in the comments. Let the world see how many Taurus souls are ready to awaken. How many are remembering their sacred design. Because by the time we reach talent number 1, you'll understand why God gave these powers to Taurus, and why 2026 is the year they finally activate. We begin with a gift so quiet, most people mistake it for weakness. But in the soul of a Taurus, it is their greatest weapon. Divine talent. Number 20, the silent strength of patience. In a world obsessed with urgency, Taurus carries a sacred power that most overlook. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't demand attention, and yet it changes everything. Patience, but not the kind that merely waits. Taurus holds a divine form of patience, one that is active, enduring, and deeply wise. It's the ability to trust in divine timing when nothing is moving. To remain rooted when everything feels uncertain. To believe that just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not coming. This kind of patience isn't weakness, it's strength in disguise. God gave this gift to Taurus because he knew they would protect it. Not waste it on shallow goals, not surrender it under pressure, but honor it as a sacred rhythm of life. Think about the oak tree. It doesn't grow overnight. It grows silently beneath the soil for years before its roots are ready to hold greatness. Taurus is that tree. Grounded, steady, unshakable. Most people quit when things don't happen fast. But Taurus holds the line even when no one else believes anymore. And in the end, they're the ones who walk away with something real, because they waited for something real. The life lesson here is simple, but powerful. True growth cannot be rushed. The most meaningful relationships, the most powerful careers, the deepest healing all require time. And Taurus, by divine design, understands this better than anyone. So if you're a Taurus and you've been wondering whether your timing is off, it's not. You are aligned with something eternal. Trust it. What's meant for you is not behind you. It's still becoming, and you are becoming too. Comment if you've ever felt the world was rushing you, but something inside you whispered to wait. Divine talent. Number 19, the relentless power of determination. If patience is the ground Taurus stands on, then determination is the force that moves them forward. Where others start strong but fade, Taurus continues. Quietly, steadily, relentlessly. This isn't just discipline, it's a divine fire, a sacred engine that refuses to stop even when the road disappears. When God gave Taurus this gift, he didn't give them the loud kind of motivation. He gave them the silent kind. The kind that doesn't need to announce its presence because it's already working while others are still deciding. Taurus doesn't need external validation to keep going. They keep going because something in them knows. Quitting is not the end of pain. It's the beginning of regret. This is what makes them dangerous in the best way. They outlast, outbuild, outgrow. They aren't always the first to start, but they are often the last still standing. Think of someone building a bridge in silence while others talk about impossible dreams. That's Taurus. And when the dust settles, Taurus doesn't just have a bridge. They're already walking across it calmly, without applause. The life lesson here is powerful. Determination isn't about being loud. It's about being consistent. And sometimes the most sacred victories don't come from massive leaps. They come from thousands of quiet, faithful steps. If you're a Taurus who's been walking alone building something no one else understands, keep going. You're not behind. You're ahead, just on a path only you can see. And one day they'll ask how you did it, and you'll smile, because you already knew. Comment if you've ever kept going when everyone else stopped believing. Divine talent number 18. The soul's deep connection to beauty. Not everyone sees beauty the same way. Some chase it for show. Others decorate their lives with it. But Taurus feels it. Beauty for Taurus is not a luxury. It is language, a sacred way of understanding the world through texture, scent, sound, silence, space. God gave Taurus this divine sensitivity to remind the world of something we've forgotten, that beauty is healing, that stillness can be sacred, that softness is not weakness, it is wisdom. Whether it's the color of a sunrise, the warmth of a handmade scarf, or the rhythm of a quiet room, Taurus doesn't just notice beauty. They create it. They protect it. They live in harmony with it. This is why Taurus souls are often drawn to music, food, nature, fashion design, not because they seek recognition, but because their soul must express what cannot be spoken with words. The life lesson here is clear. In a world addicted to noise and chaos, creating beauty is an act of rebellion and an act of service. Taurus brings balance by reminding others that joy can be found in the little things, that you don't have to escape life to find peace. You can build it room by room, moment by moment. If you've ever lit a candle just to feel calm, arranged your space for comfort, or stayed in silence because it felt more sacred than words, you've already touched this gift. Beauty is not decoration, it's spiritual medicine, and Taurus carries the recipe. Comment if you've ever created something beautiful just to feel peace, even if no one else noticed. Divine talent number 17. Resilience in adversity. Some signs break when life becomes unbearable. Taurus bends, but never breaks. They endure. This is not the kind of resilience that screams or performs. It's quiet, internal, almost invisible from the outside. But inside, a storm may rage, yet Taurus stands rooted. God gave this divine resilience to Taurus, not as a shield, but as a soul muscle, something that grows stronger every time life tries to tear it apart. It's not just about surviving challenges, it's about becoming wiser, deeper, more anchored because of them. Taurus doesn't fear darkness. They've walked through it before and found light no one else saw. They know how to carry pain without becoming bitter. They know how to rebuild, even when everything has collapsed. And they do it all without asking for attention. The life lesson here is humbling. Resilience is not what keeps you smiling. It's what keeps you moving when you're not sure you can. Taurus doesn't pretend everything is okay. They simply decide to rise anyway, over and over again. This divine strength is why Taurus often becomes the anchor in other people's storms. They hold families together, carry burdens silently, and inspire others through their quiet perseverance. And when people ask how they do it, Taurus usually says nothing, because truth doesn't need to speak to be felt. Comment if you've ever endured something others didn't know about and came out stronger. Divine talent number 16. Loyalty as a sacred bond. In a time when promises are broken as quickly as they're made, Taurus carries a rare and ancient gift, unwavering loyalty. This isn't about blind devotion or naive attachment. This is about sacred commitment, a decision made from the soul and kept through every storm. When Taurus chooses someone, they do so with depth. They don't make emotional investments easily, but once they do, they stand by you like a fortress. Not because it's convenient, but because they meant it. God gave Taurus this loyalty to remind the world that some bonds are still worth protecting, that there are people who don't give up at the first sign of trouble. That faithfulness still exists. But this gift isn't just for others. Taurus's loyalty to themselves, to their path, their values, their inner truth is what gives them quiet power. They don't chase trends. They don't betray themselves to fit in. And that is divine in a world so easily swayed. The life lesson here is clear. Loyalty is not about convenience. It's about integrity. And integrity, when practiced over time, becomes trust. Taurus doesn't just want relationships. They want foundations. And once you've earned their trust, it becomes a sanctuary you can return to again and again. Comment if loyalty is something you give but rarely receive in return. Divine talent. Number 15. The gift of inner stability. Taurus doesn't just crave stability, they create it. It lives in their spirit. It flows through their decisions, and it grounds everyone around them. While others ride emotional highs and lows, Taurus moves with a quiet steadiness. It's not that they don't feel, they feel deeply, but they refuse to let temporary chaos define their long-term direction. God gave Taurus this internal stability so they could become builders of peace. In families, in friendships, in business, they are the ones who make others feel safe, even when the world is falling apart. This doesn't come from luck, it comes from values. Taurus knows what matters, and they protect it, build around it, and return to it when everything else feels uncertain. The life lesson here is timeless. When you're rooted in who you are, the storms of life can shake you, but they can't uproot you. This divine gift is why Taurus often becomes the rock for others. The calm voice, the grounded presence, the one person who doesn't fall apart when things get real. And that in today's world is a kind of spiritual leadership. Comment if you've ever been the stable one for everyone else, even when no one knew how much it cost you. Divine talent. Number 14. The gift of culinary intuition. To some, food is fuel, but to Taurus, food is connection. It is memory. It is love. And preparing a meal isn't just a task, it's a sacred ritual. God gave Taurus this divine ability, not just to cook, but to intuitively know what nourishes the soul. They don't need fancy techniques. Their hands know what to do. Their hearts know what someone needs. It's as if the ingredients speak to them, and they listen. Whether it's a quiet breakfast for one, or a feast for a full table, Taurus infuses their food with presence, care, intention. You can taste it. You can feel it. This isn't about showing off culinary skills. It's about comfort. It's about healing. It's about taking chaos and turning it into warmth one bite at a time. The life lesson here is powerful. Food is not just about sustenance. It is emotional medicine. A well-prepared dish can say, "I love you, I understand," or even, "You're safe here," without a single word. This is why Taurus often becomes the center of community, not because they try to be, but because people are drawn to where they feel fed. And Taurus has a way of feeding more than just the body. Comment if you've ever cooked to comfort someone, or if someone's food once healed something you couldn't describe. Divine talent. Number 13. Persistence that moves mountains. The world celebrates speed, but Taurus teaches us the sacred strength of slow, unshakable persistence. When others grow tired, give up, or change paths too soon, Taurus keeps going. And not because it's easy, because they believe in what they started. This divine talent isn't about ambition. It's about faith in the process. Taurus trusts that each step matters, even if no one notices, even if the results take years, even if they have to walk alone. God gave Taurus this sacred fire to teach the world that true transformation doesn't happen in grand leaps. It happens in quiet, relentless progress. Taurus is the one still standing after everyone else has moved on. The life lesson here is timeless. Consistency beats intensity. Show up for your goals. Show up for your values. Show up for yourself even when no one is clapping. Because one day, the work you did in silence will speak louder than anything you could have said. Comment if you're walking a path right now that's slow, but you know it's right. Divine talent number 12. Wisdom in managing resources. Taurus doesn't waste. Not time, not energy, not trust, and not money. There's a quiet intelligence in how Taurus moves through the world. They observe, they measure, they plan. They know what they have and how to make it last. God gave Taurus this divine talent, not to accumulate wealth, but to steward it. To turn a little into enough. To create systems that bring peace, not pressure. To teach others that abundance is not about excess, it's about knowing what truly matters. Taurus has a gift for building from the ground up, step by step, without wasting motion. Whether it's a home, a budget, or a relationship, they invest wisely, give deliberately, and walk away when something drains their reserves. The life lesson here is clear. What you manage well will multiply. What you ignore will disappear. Taurus reminds us that being grounded in how we use our time, energy, and money is not boring. It is spiritual maturity. And it creates a life where peace is possible. Comment if you've ever learned the hard way or the wise way how to protect your energy and resources. Divine talent. Number 11. The ability to enjoy the present moment. While the world obsesses over what's next, Taurus knows how to slow down and feel what's now. This divine gift. The ability to be present isn't loud or flashy. It's subtle. It's sacred. It's the art of tasting life as it happens. God gave this talent to Taurus because he knew the world would forget how to be here, to stop running, to stop scrolling, to stop comparing. And in that stillness, Taurus finds something most people miss: peace. Taurus knows how to enjoy the warmth of a blanket, the rhythm of rain, the taste of a ripe strawberry, the scent of a quiet room. They don't rush these things. They savor them. This gift may seem small, but it's everything, because presence is where joy lives, where healing begins, where love is actually felt, not just imagined. The life lesson here is profound. You don't have to wait for life to be perfect to be grateful. You don't have to have everything to feel full. Sometimes the miracle is already happening. You just have to slow down enough to notice. Taurus lives this way and reminds others to do the same. Comment if you've ever had a moment where everything felt still and you realized this is enough. Divine talent number 10. The power to create sacred space. Home means something deeper to Taurus. It's not just walls and furniture. It's energy. It's safety. It's intentional beauty. God gave Taurus the divine gift of creating cozy, grounding, emotionally nourishing environments. It's not for show, but for healing. They understand the spiritual power of a soft blanket, a candlelit corner, a clean kitchen, a peaceful room. To walk into a Taurus home is to feel embraced before anyone even says hello. But this talent goes beyond physical space. Taurus creates emotional space too, where people feel safe to rest, cry, speak honestly, or say nothing at all. The life lesson here is healing. We don't just live in homes, we live in the energy we create. And that energy either soothes or stresses the people around us. Taurus naturally chooses calm. They build sanctuaries where others can exhale. And in a chaotic world, that is divine work. Comment if you've ever stepped into a space that made your soul breathe deeper or created one for someone else. Divine talent number 9. The gift of practical wisdom. While others float in dreams or lose themselves in chaos, Taurus stays grounded in what is real. This is not cynicism, it's sacred clarity. Taurus sees what is Taurus and works with it. They don't need illusions. They trust the truth. God gave this gift to Taurus so they could navigate life with calm logic and quiet power. They know how to fix things, build things, manage reality when others are overwhelmed by it. Their advice is simple, and it works. Their choices may seem slow, but they last. This gift of practical wisdom doesn't mean they lack imagination. It means they know how to turn vision into results. The life lesson here is stabilizing. Wisdom isn't just knowing what feels good, it's knowing what actually works, and applying it day by day with discipline. Taurus teaches us that clarity is kindness, and that being grounded is not a limitation, it's liberation from chaos. Comment if your strength is staying grounded even when everyone else is spinning in circles. Divine talent number 8. The sacred touch of craftsmanship. Some people use their hands to work. Taurus uses theirs to transform. This divine talent is not just about being good with tools or artistic. It's deeper than that. It's a spiritual relationship with creation itself. God gave Taurus a unique ability to shape the physical world with meaning, to take raw materials, ordinary objects, forgotten spaces, and turn them into something that lives, breathes, and speaks. A handmade table, a restored room, a knit blanket, a carefully prepared gift. Taurus doesn't rush these things. They infuse every stitch stroke and detail with attention and care. This is why many Taurus souls gravitate toward crafts, design, building, sewing, sculpture, gardening, or anything that involves the hands. It's not just about creating, it's about channeling peace through form. The life lesson here is timeless. What we make with care carries care, and what we build with love becomes a legacy. Taurus reminds us that the sacred isn't always in a temple. Sometimes it's in the quiet process of shaping something real, useful, and beautiful by hand. Comment if creating things with your hands gives you a sense of peace, or if there's something you've made that still holds your energy. Divine talent number 7. The power to nurture growth. Not everyone can grow things, but Taurus can. Whether it's a garden, a relationship, a business, or a dream, Taurus knows how to nurture something from seed to strength. They don't force. They don't rush. They care steadily, patiently, with faith in the slow miracle of development. God gave this divine gift to Taurus to make them caretakers of what is becoming. They understand that growth isn't instant, that success is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Where others give up, Taurus waters one more time. Where others demand results, Taurus stays with the process. This makes them excellent parents, mentors, leaders, partners, and creators of systems that don't just start, they thrive. The life lesson here is rich. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens through consistent love, even when nothing seems to be happening at all. Taurus reminds us that tending is an act of faith, and that those who care quietly and consistently are the ones who bring life to everything they touch. Comment if there's something or someone you've helped grow and you're proud you never gave up on it. Divine talent number 6. The sacred instinct to protect. Taurus may be gentle, but make no mistake, they are protectors of the ones they love, of truth, of peace, of what matters. God gave Taurus the sacred instinct to defend without asking for permission. It is not about dominance. It's about loyalty and strength in service of safety. This protective energy doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply shows up quietly, firmly, unshakably, standing between danger and the people they love. Taurus doesn't look for battles, but if the moment calls, they don't back down. This is why many Taurus people are the guardian figures in families, friendships, teams. They carry burdens. They shield others. And when needed, they speak the truth no one else dares to say. The life lesson here is powerful. Protection isn't about fear, it's about love. And sometimes love means becoming the wall no one can get past. Taurus doesn't protect because they're afraid to lose you. They protect because they were born to stand between harm and what they cherish. Comment: if you've ever become the protector, not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. Divine talent number 5. The ability to build long-term dreams. Taurus doesn't dream for the moment. They dream for a lifetime, while others chase quick success. Taurus plays the long game. And it's not because they're slow. It's because they understand what's worth building takes time. God gave Taurus this divine talent to envision what could be, and then walk toward it with patience, resilience, and devotion. They're the ones who plant the seed water, it protect it, and return to it day after day until it becomes real. Whether it's a business, a family, a home, or a life purpose, Taurus knows how to build with roots. They don't want what's trendy. They want what lasts. And when the world forgets what it started, Taurus continues, because they never forgot why they began. The life lesson here is rich and rare. Anything that is built to last must be built slowly, and anything worth keeping must be built with love. Taurus doesn't need shortcuts. They know that the view from the mountaintop is only sweet when you've climbed every step yourself. Comment: if you're building something long-term right now, and you're doing it your way, at your put. Divine talent. Number 4. The gift of refined taste. Taurus has a relationship with beauty that is both instinctive and elevated. They know quality not because they were taught, but because they feel it. This is not about labels or trends. It's about essence. Taurus can walk into a space and immediately sense what belongs, what brings harmony, what's been chosen with intention. From textures and colors to music and clothing, their taste is refined, yet grounded. God gave them this divine gift to remind the world that beauty isn't about excess, it's about alignment. When something is right, it feels effortless, natural, resonant, and Taurus surrounds themselves with things that speak to their soul, not to the crowd. This is why Taurus often excels in fashion art, food, architecture, curation, because they don't just follow style, they live it. The life lesson here is subtle but profound. The things you choose to live with and the way you choose to live shape your energy. So choose well. Choose what reflects your truth. Taurus knows how to do that instinctively, and it shows in every detail of their world. Comment if you've ever been told you have great taste, or if you carefully choose beauty that feels true to you. Divine talent number 3. The energy of natural sensuality. Some people try to be attractive. Taurus doesn't need to try. Their sensuality is not about appearance. It's about presence. It's the way they move, the calm in their voice, the warmth of their silence, the steadiness in their touch. God gave Taurus this divine energy to remind us that attraction is not performance, it's authenticity. It's comfort, confidence, peace. People are drawn to Taurus not because they're loud, but because they feel safe around them. Seen, understood. There's something magnetic about someone who doesn't chase, but simply is. This sensual energy isn't only romantic, it's spiritual. Taurus brings beauty into every interaction, even in silence. And in a world that's constantly trying to impress, Taurus invites you to feel instead. The life lesson here is deeply human. You don't have to become someone else to be attractive. You only need to come home to yourself. Taurus lives in their body, in the moment, in truth. And that's what makes them unforgettable. Comment if your energy speaks louder than your words, or if you're learning to embrace your natural magnetism. Divine talent number 2. The sacred bond with nature. There is a reason Taurus feels more alive in the forest, more peaceful near water, more whole under a quiet sky. They are not just connected to nature, they are part of it. God gave Taurus this sacred bond with the earth, not as a metaphor, but as a birthright. While others seek digital escape or artificial stimulation, Taurus remembers the rhythm of the soil, the pulse of rain, the whisper of wind through trees. To a Taurus soul, nature is not background, it is home. It's where the nervous system calms, where truth returns, where answers arrive without words. This is why Taurus can walk barefoot in silence and feel healed. Why a garden, a patch of land, a single blooming flower can awaken their spirit. It's not about being outdoorsy, it's about being in harmony. The life lesson here is more needed than ever. When life becomes too much, return to the earth. It remembers who you are when you forget. Taurus teaches us to unplug, not as escape, but as return. To listen, to breathe, to be. To reconnect with the sacred rhythm of life itself. Comment if nature is your safe place or if you're being called to return to it more deeply this year. Divine talent number 1, the quiet strength of presence. This is the gift most misunderstood because it's the most invisible. Taurus doesn't force, doesn't chase, doesn't need to prove. But when they walk into a room, you feel them. It's not performance, it's presence. And God made it their most divine gift of all. This quiet strength doesn't ask for attention, it earns respect without words. It holds space, it calms chaos, it anchors the energy. In a world that confuses noise with power, Taurus reminds us that true strength is calm. It is grounded. It is unwavering. Taurus doesn't need to dominate a room because their presence changes the room. They don't have to shout to be heard. They don't have to rush to arrive on time, because they carry time, peace, and purpose within them. The life lesson is eternal power that is truly yours, does not need to announce itself. It speaks through presence, and presence is the echo of peace. Taurus carries this presence into every space they enter, and it is why people remember them long after they leave. Comment if you've ever felt your quiet strength speak louder than anything you could say. Closing. The final flame of Taurus. You've made it to the end. But the truth is, this isn't the end. It's a return to what you were born with, a remembering of what has always been sacred inside you. These 20 talents aren't about the gauchers. They're gifts, and they've been waiting for your awareness, waiting for you to stop searching outside and begin recognizing within. Taurus, you are not here to fit in. You are here to stabilize, to ground, to build, to love slowly, truly, and eternally. The world needs your loyalty, your sensuality, your inner stillness, your presence. And in 2026, the world will feel that need more than ever. You are the ones who do not fall apart when things break down. You are the ones who hold families together, who rebuild lives from the ashes, who remind others to breathe, to feel, to taste, to rest. This is not weakness. This is ancient strength. So if you've ever felt underestimated, if you've ever felt too slow, too steady, too quiet, in a world that rewards chaos, know this: God did not make you Taurus by accident. He made you Taurus so you could anchor the storm. And now the storm is passing through. Stand tall. Your talents are no longer dormant. They are awakening. And if even one of them resonated with you today, then your journey back to yourself has already begun. Comment below which of these divine talents do you feel most deeply this year, and which ones are still waiting to be awakened. Let's build this circle of Taurus souls, strong, grounded, sacred together. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the eternal flame of Taurus so we can keep walking this journey with you through 2026 and beyond. Send